Every night you come home, you get that kind of welcome. Wouldn't be bad at all. Oh, thank God, I love yous too. Yeah. I tell you, it's extraordinary because it wasn't, at least it doesn't seem that long ago when nothing was happening. Now, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in a place called Hell's Kitchen, New York, and it was bad. It was on the west side, 42nd Street, 46th Street, right in there. And we didn't have much money, and I had a mother at the time who, was like nervous about giving birth. So everything was, they procrastinated, and finally, it was getting to that point where they just rushed into this charity ward. And that was on 47th Street, and there was no doctors on duty. So I had this intern, or maybe, I don't know, somebody carrying a bucket, I don't know who it was, but they delivered me, but they had trouble. So they used forceps, and they caught me here. And this is the result. So I ended up with this crooked mouth and kind of a slur, and I went, God, I have to go through life lisping, making excuses, people going, oh, you got a fish hook in your mouth. But the point is, that's what made me different. You see what I mean? It's different. It's very, 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 unusual to have something you go, oh, this sets me apart. And you go, good. How do I use that to my advantage? Anyway, so I had this impediment. So no matter what I did, the mouth was always going in this direction. So I always looked angry, snarling. Okay. And I love you guys too. So going through school with the name Sylvester, not easy. Especially at that time, there was a cartoon out called Sylvester. So they go, I saw a putty tap. And let me tell you, there was nothing worse than going to a new school and they say, hey, we have a new person in the class. Sylvester, stand up. And it was on. So right from that point on, it was fisticuffs, difficulty. I never fit in, which will come back to the story, which also worked to an advantage. The point being, I was a difficult student. I thought differently. And a lot of us are forced into kind of a belief they should march along and sort of be normal. What the hell is normal? Normal, okay. You mean like all the cans in a store, they all look the same, all facing the same direction. So I was different. I went to 13 schools in 12 years. I was thrown out of every one. At that time, they didn't understand what ADD is. Yeah, they still don't. All I knew is I was bored. No matter what they taught me, I said, this isn't what I'm supposed to do. Somehow, I'm not gonna learn physics. I'm not gonna split an atom. I'm not gonna go into civics. And history's already passed by, so why learn about it? I'll learn it on my own time. The point was, I kept making excuses. I ended up with 7 Fs out of 7 subjects, and eventually was barred from the Pennsylvania and Maryland school system. Barred. Until finally they had to put me in special school, where, I was surrounded by people like me. But the point is, there's a moment, a crossroad in your life, where you say, is it them or is it me? Am I crazy or are they crazy? Am I as ridiculous as I look to them, or do you just see things differently? Because I tell you, it's hard. It's hard to stand alone. It really is. So eventually I'll speed ahead. I got to New York and I wanted to be an actor. Okay, not happening. You got a crooked mouth, you slur, you don't have it. And they would actually say to me, you have a speech impediment, forget it. Oh, wow. This was not in my plans. Well, it didn't happen that way because I wanted to be an actor, because it gets down to this. How do you find what you're good at? How do you find it? I tell this to my kids all the time. You gotta get out and try everything. You go into a restaurant, You don't eat the same food all the time and say, oh, I don't like that. Have you ever tried it? No, but I don't like it. Wrong. You have to be incredibly facile. You have to open up your mind and say, okay, I want to try different things until this thing is so much, it's so comfortable, it's such a joy to me, I would do it for you. So, anyway, I just wanted to work with animals my whole life. I wanted to work with horses. I didn't give it, and I was kind of an athlete. Not that good, but an athlete. So I thought I'd be a coach in junior high school. This is where I was going. Until one day, I'm walking down the hall, and it said, play, auditioning for a death of a salesman. Now you understand, speech, slurring, no skill whatsoever. He goes, what do you want to read for? I said, I'll read for the part of Biff. And all of a sudden, I remember those hot mornings in spring, shipping, salesmen, buying, one kind of another. I still remember the lines. And all I do is wish to be outdoors with my shirt off. Anyway, something happened. I flipped. I saw the vision. Matter of fact, it was one way. There was no other way. This is what I wanted to do, and I would do it for free. Okay. Which brings me to the point. When you find something that's effortless, do it. If you like it, it's effortless. In other words, it's part of you. It's something you enjoy doing. If you didn't get paid, if you lived in a society where, hey, oh, there is no salaries, we'll just pay you to exist, we'll pay for your food and schooling, you would do this job just to exist because it's a joy. But they said, no, you can't do it. Okay, I went home, I pouted. Remember, I was broke. My apartment was, I was on a floor with 10 transients, one bathroom. It was bad. And I thought, you know, all right, I have a choice. Choose another craft that's close to acting. That's what I'm writing. Now you understand, I never wrote. I failed every English course in my life. Truly, bad. My grade point average is 1.89.
Holy shit.
Why bother show up? 1.89. I'm sorry, 0.89. I'm giving myself too much credit. 0.89. So I started writing, and I was horrible. But I go to this little room. Room was so small, I could touch the window and close the door, literally from the bed. It was a flop house, real flop house, with like real bad people in it. So I started writing. I thought, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I wanna try to get jobs during the day, but I'll get a job as an usher at night. Why? So I go in there and I study films. I listen to them. I bought a cheap tape recorder and I record the damn movies. Like at that time, I was doing the one, it was Jack Nicholson. It was like, oh God, it was a motorcycle film. Anyway, it'll come back to me. The Conversation, Godfather, you name it. So I would go home and I would try to rewrite the dialogue in my own way. The point was, I was starting to transition into something that also was creative, but I couldn't follow my dream, so I created a new dream. So just because one door is shut, another door perhaps is open. Not very wide, but you gotta go through it. That brings us to fear, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. If I never went through that door, if I had been even a little successful as an actor, I wouldn't be here. My career would be over by now. I would have been like, because I was always being cast as the thug, the bum, the tough guy, Lords of Flatbush, and all that kind of thing. I was the guy that mugged Woody Allen. I mugged Jack Lemmon. I got beat up by David Carradine.
Really?
That was my thing.
You're getting beat up?
I was that guy with the snarl. I thought, you know, if I can somehow show a character that looks tough on the outside, but is very, very gentle on the inside, but just the way you look. As soon as you walk in the door, people have this primary impression of you. Oh, that guy's bad. Oh, that guy, that guy looks stupid. Oh, that guy. All of a sudden, primary impression, that's what people kind of bond to. So I thought, all right, and that'll bring me up with Rocky. So I sat there in my room for months and years, freezing, whatever. We'd have one actually, this is where I got the idea for eggs. I get out to the store, buy a half dozen eggs, didn't have a refrigerator, and I would drink them raw because that's what there was. There was no stove. That and cottage cheese that I shared with the pigeons that were outside the window in that tenement. The point is, I thought, I can't be the only person like this. There must be such frustration among everybody. You have dreams and aspirations and doors close. And all you really want is an opportunity to present yourself. You want to sit up there and present your product, present your idea, but two things are stopping you. One, they're closing the door and they say no, and then fear. Well, I'll tell you, the idea of going ahead full steam and not taking no for an answer, that's the only way to go. There is no no. There's a maybe, someday, but there's no no. There is no finality, ever. Once you put no in your vocabulary, you're done. You're done. And the fear of failure. I can't tell you how many times I would slip my work underneath the door. They wouldn't even open it up for a damn talent agent, 2-bit talent agent. And it literally would come out, crumbled, this and that. You're not our type. I said, you haven't even seen me, open up the door. No, you're not our type. So I became a professional at rejection. And I said, you know what? Am I gonna inherit this? Am I gonna absorb this? Or am I gonna get mad? Really mad. And the more you say I can't, the more I say I can. Because you have to deal with this right now, folks. You have a real situation where is it you gonna win or they gonna win? If they're gonna knock you down, you're gonna knock them down. And you only got one life. One friggin' life per person. And then it's gone. So, brings us to fear. The fear of failure. You know what I say about fear? My best friend. I love it. If I had another kid, I'd name him Fear. That's how much I like fear. Because fear is what makes you sharp. Fear is what wakes you up in the morning and goes, oh my God, if I don't do this, I'm gonna fail. Yeah, right, you are. Fear is gasoline. It can either drive the engine or burn you up, but it's necessary. Fear is what kept man alive for centuries. If somebody's not scared, they're stupid. They're gonna die. Oh, Jesus, what is it, 2,000 feet up here? Let me walk out. No, fear goes, that's stupid. That's dumb. But let's go over here. I'll build a bridge. I'll walk across it. All right. Fear makes you create things, makes you survive. So I was really afraid. I had no fallback. My kids are very lucky. I said, you know, they pretty well got it made. I said, you guys could not survive 1 week in my life back then. No safety net. And probably most of you guys out there have no safety net. Yep. You're working alone up there. So fear is going to be with you all the time, but fear is what also makes you great because it makes you compete with yourself. You know what? The hero and the coward, they're both scared. I don't give a crap what anyone says. Hero's scared too. But he just channels it, absorbs it, and goes, I'm going for it. The coward accepts it. But they all have fear. So you shouldn't worry about that. You should go, oh God, I'm afraid of failure. Yeah, okay. But what's he gonna do, kill you? No, you get back up and do it again. You get back up, you take the shot, you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. I love fear. I'm scared today. You come out here, you go, okay, am I gonna pass out? First of all, I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just talking. I have no notes. I'm serious. You know? He said, you better be a good bullshit artist or be sincere. I said, all right, I'll be sincere. Because you know what I mean? I have no reason to lie. But seriously, I thought it could be a Q&A like on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Sorry. What's it like? I go, no. You're out here alone. No net. Fear. There it is. So, If I can do it, you can do it. Believe me, all it takes is one good idea. That's it.
One good idea.
And then that idea begets another, and begets another, and begets another. Let me clarify. I fail 95% of the time.
Wow.
If I didn't, I'd be the richest man on the planet. I'd be God. I'd be a sage. I'd be a genius. I mean, Jesus. You've heard the story about Edison and the light bulb.
You're an icon, buddy.
I'm an icon. That's what you think. Rocky's an icon. I just got lucky. Because when I took Rocky, there's Drew.
Rambo!
I won.
Okay, perfect story. You want to talk about Rocky a little bit? All right. So I was total bum, going nowhere, and I saw a fight. And I said, you know what? That fight is what life is all about. Life is about two things. Speed, meaning racing, and fighting. Fight on every level. You fight to pay your taxes, you fight to raise your kid, fight to keep the relationship going. It's a fight. It's fight. Yeah, it's Rambo time. It's a fight. That's what people identify with going on since time immemorial. Okay, so I say, I gotta do something. I'm failing, I'm going nowhere, but if I could write a story about a guy who is a failure, who everyone can sort of identify with, but if he's given the opportunity, he could flourish. So all I say is that Rocky all he wanted was a chance to fail. Can I at least have a chance? No. I tell people, every one of us is not gonna hit the ball out of the park. Sometimes you get a double, a single, but you're still in the game. And that's what I wanted to be, was in the game. So I wrote a story, not about a struggling actor, who cares? A struggling writer, who cares? But boxing is very, very symbolic. So when I wrote this story, they go, great. We don't want you. We want Burt Reynolds, we want Ryan O'Neal, we want,
Jack.
who was it? Jimmy Kahn, because he was beating people up in The Godfather, like, boom. They go, okay, but we don't want you. And I thought, wow, here's another crossroad. You get about 5 crossroads in your life, serious crossroads. One is like when you're 18, then about 25, you get married, big time crossroad, kids, big time crossroad. All right, this is my economic crossroad. So I'm going, wow, they like the movie enough, but they don't like me. I know if I surrender at this point, I'm gonna hate myself for the rest of my life.